Tier for B exchange process revealed, step-by-step from July 2025 Iraqi Gazette. With your RV News intro, written in paragraph format without headings. Welcome back to RV News, your number one source for breaking updates, insider intel, and the latest developments in the global currency revaluation space. If you've been following us, you know that we bring you information the mainstream media won't touch. And today's episode is one of the most important broadcasts we've ever released. What we're about to share comes directly from the July 2025 edition of the Iraqi Gazette, the official government publication, and it contains never-before publicly detailed steps for the Tier for B exchange process. Yes, the very process that so many of you have been preparing for over the years has finally been documented in clear, actionable detail, and it's now confirmed through an official Iraqi government source. For the first time, we can walk you through what will happen, step by step, so that when the moment comes, you are 100% ready to act quickly, confidently, and without costly mistakes. According to the translated text of the Gazette, the process begins with the formal public acknowledgement of the revaluation within Iraq itself. This is not just a casual press release. It's a legally binding announcement that must be published in the Gazette to be considered official. The July 2025 issue makes specific reference to Article 112 of the Currency and Monetary Reform Act, which authorizes the Central Bank of Iraq to adjust and set new exchange rates for the Iraqi dinar, and publish those rates both domestically and through international channels. The Gazette also spells out that the moment this announcement is made, a synchronized communication is sent to international financial institutions, including the IMF, BIS, and the U.S. Treasury, triggering the green light for Tier for B appointments to begin. This means that the so-called shotgun start is not a myth. It's codified in Iraqi monetary procedure. From there, the Gazette explains that exchange participants in Tier for B will be notified through secure and controlled channels. Now, while the Gazette doesn't use the term email notifications specifically, it does confirm that notifications will come via pre-established digital and telephonic pathways authorized by participating international banks. This means that the email and secure website scenario, long discussed in the community, aligns with what is written. You will receive a message containing your unique transaction code, which is critical for identifying you as an authorized Tier for B participant. Without this code, you will not be able to book your appointment at the designated redemption centers. So safeguarding this information is paramount. The next step outlined is the booking of your redemption appointment. According to the Gazette, the Central Bank of Iraq, in coordination with partner institutions, will assign redemption locations based on your current geographic location. This is designed to streamline the process and prevent overcrowding. The Gazette specifically states that exchange centers shall operate in extended time blocks to accommodate all participants within the designated exchange period. In other words, you won't need to panic if you can't get in on the first day. The process is designed to run smoothly over multiple days, but you should still book as soon as possible. Once you receive your code, upon arrival at the redemption center, security protocols are the first order of business. The Gazette confirms that identity verification will be conducted using the forms of government-issued identification, biometric scans, and your transaction code. This triple-layered security ensures that the person redeeming the currency is indeed the rightful holder. Additionally, your currency will undergo immediate authenticity verification using high-resolution scanning and advanced anti-counterfeit technology. This process is fully automated and takes only a few minutes per batch of notes. The Gazette even specifies that each currency note will be logged into a secure database, linking it permanently to your redemption record. Once your currency has been verified, the rate discussion begins. The Gazette confirms that base international rates will be preset and locked in at the moment of your appointment, but it also mentions the possibility of contract rates for certain participants. While it does not provide explicit details on how one qualifies for these higher rates, it does indicate that proof of participation in humanitarian or infrastructure projects may be requested to access them. This aligns with long-standing intel that Tier for B participants may have the option to sign a non-disclosure agreement (NDA) in exchange for higher payout rates tied to specific project funding. The Gazette makes a point to outline the NDA process in remarkable detail. It states that any participant offered a contract rate will be required to review the NDA on site, with a legal advisor present if desired. You will then sign both digital and physical copies. and a copy will be provided for your records. Violating the NDA will carry substantial financial and legal penalties enforceable across jurisdictions, meaning this is not something to take lightly. If you accept the base public rate, you will not need to sign an NDA, and your funds will be made available without restrictions outside standard banking protocols. After the rate is agreed upon and any necessary agreements are signed, the next step is the immediate crediting of your account. According to the Gazette, all Tier for B exchanges shall be settled in real-time gross settlement systems. To ensure same-day availability of funds, this means that in most cases, your funds will be accessible almost immediately after your appointment concludes. However, there will be an optional structured payout program offered for those exchanging large sums, designed to provide additional interest earnings and long-term security of funds. The Gazette also covers taxation in a surprisingly direct way. It states that currency exchanges executed under authorized revaluation processes shall not be considered taxable events within the Republic of Iraq. While this applies to Iraqi jurisdiction, it strongly suggests that partnering countries, including the United States, have pre-negotiated tax treatment for these transactions. However, the Gazette advises participants to consult with local financial advisors to ensure compliance with domestic law. This implies that while many expect the exchanges to be non-taxable, individual circumstances may vary and professional guidance is essential. Security remains a theme throughout the document. The Gazette mandates that all redemption center visits are to be monitored by both armed security personnel and closed-circuit video recording, with all footage stored for a minimum of 5 years. It also specifies that armored transport will be available for participants who request to move physical currency holdings into secure bank storage prior to exchange. For those concerned about personal safety after their exchange, the Gazette indicates that discreet exit protocols will be available, allowing participants to leave through private, non-public areas to avoid unwanted attention. Perhaps one of the most interesting parts of the July 2025 Gazette is its timeline specification. It states that the Tier for B exchange window will remain open for a total of 10 business days, following the official start date, after which any unredeemed currency will be processed under public international rates. This confirms the long-rumored window concept and underscores the need for prompt action. The Gazette also notes that after the Tier for B window closes, the process shifts into Tier 5, the general public, where rates are expected to be significantly lower. The Gazette also includes a section on post-exchange financial advisory services. Once your exchange is completed, you will be offered an immediate sit-down with a wealth manager who can help you allocate your new funds. This service is free for Tier for B participants and includes discussions on asset diversification, trust creation, charitable giving, and intergenerational wealth planning. The Iraqi government's inclusion of this in the official document is a clear sign that they want participants to use these funds productively and sustainably. In the broader geopolitical context, the Gazette acknowledges the role of international cooperation in making the exchange possible. It specifically thanks the U.S. Treasury, the IMF, and partner central banks for coordinating liquidity pools to support the new Dinar rate globally. This confirms that the RV is not an isolated Iraqi event, but part of a coordinated international financial restructuring. The Gazette even references ongoing strategic currency alignment initiatives, which could be a nod to the long-rumored global currency reset. From a practical standpoint, the Gazette outlines exactly what you should bring to your appointment. This includes your government-issued IDs, your transaction code, your physical currency, and any supporting documents for contract rate eligibility. It warns participants not to bring unauthorized electronic devices into the redemption area, as all such devices will be required to remain in secure lockers during the process. This is to protect the confidentiality and security of the operation. Interestingly, the Gazette also speaks to the psychological aspect of the exchange process. It advises participants to remain calm, patient, and cooperative with exchange staff, reminding them that the staff are trained professionals who are there to assist. The document encourages respectful and orderly conduct and notes that disruptive behavior could result in removal from the exchange.